Hello, everybody. This is Nate.
This is Blaise.
Blaise, this is a music villa. We're going to show you how to restring your guitar. We're doing an acoustic one today. Nate is one of our repair guys at Music Villa in lovely Bozeman, Montana. And we're going to talk about it and show you the whole deal on how to do it on your own because it's very handy to do. We are more than happy to do it here. We have a service where we restring it, clean it, adjust the neck. It's like a tune-up thing. In a pinch, sometimes you can't get to the store or you're camping or whatever, and it's late at night. And you're doing a session and you need it now. It's great to know how to learn to restring your guitar. Definitely got to do it. Survival. It's a survival thing. And then we'll talk about how to make a fire. Fillet what do they call that when they skin a fish? Not skinning a fish. Scaling, we'll do skinning too. We do chipmunk skinning. We're going to descale a fish in future episodes, how to do your own oil change. But today we're going to do how to restring your acoustic guitar. Okay, people? So, the first thing you're going to need to do is have a guitar that needs restringing.
That's right.
And we have that. This is a lovely Guild Dreadnought. And you'll see there's products here that we're going to try to sell you. I'll be honest with you, but these are really useful things to do, and we'll talk all about that. So the first thing we have to do is hold on. The first thing good to do is lay it down. Get some sort of, maybe you have a little brother at home or a little sister. They can just lay them down there. Maybe you got a pillow or a stuffed animal or something. Use it, something that will hold that up there like that. You can make your own little beanbag thing or something. So anyway, it's nice to have it here and have it free to do stuff here. And lay it down. The first thing we're going to do, Nate.
Yes.
Is what is the first thing we're going to do, Nate?
Well, we're going to take the strings off.
That makes sense. So you don't restring a guitar until you take the old strings off.
Right.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take those strings off. How do you like to do that? What's your favorite way of doing that?
Well, take them all off. Some people like to do one at a time, but
right.
You don't have to worry about taking them all off at the same time. It's not going to hurt the guitar.
Right, and obviously if you just break one string, you're just going to do that. But to restring it, I like to take them all off.
Yep.
What I usually do is loosen the strings and then cut them and then take everything out. Do you do that?
I don't do that.
Okay, well, you're the repair guy, so you should tell them how do you do it?
There's more than one way to do it. We sell the winder.
Yeah, there's a $3 one, an $8 that's smoother, and a $12 that's got a wire cutters. You're going to need wire cutters if you have any of the winders. That's another thing to have. But anyway, so you do the winder.
I'm going to use the drill because it's faster.
Yep, we do sell the drill bit, which is a lovely, lovely thing. It makes it so much quicker. I don't restring without a winder or the drill because it really is a pain in the butt. And you'll see why they're actually handy to kind of do a good job on it. Okay, so you loosened all the strings.
They're loose. I use the string cutters to pull the pins out of the guitar. I just leverage over the saddle. Just pop them loose.
Which is scary.
Well, don't be scared.
Okay. I'm usually scared.
I don't like to cut them because then I get bits of broken string on the bench and I might scratch up a guitar.
See, I cut mine because I just don't give a crap. But also, just these string winders too, there is a lot of people don't know this, there is a little thing here where you can pop them out as well.
Right.
In fact, the fancier ones have that too. So there you go. He's taking them all out, and look you're wrapping the strings. So instead of taking all the strings and throwing them in the garbage and sort of flopping all around and crazy, there's a nice, easy way.
Yeah, it's clean.
It's clean. It's not going to explode in your thing. And, there's a recycling program here that Diodario does that we are doing. So you can actually, if you save your strings, bring them in and we'll put them in our bucket to give to them to recycle and reuse. So now we got the strings off.
I got the strings off.
So what are we going to do now?
Usually I tighten up the tuners and just make sure everything's tight. You don't want anything falling out.
Yeah, some tuners have it, some don't, especially on the side things. If anywhere it's good. This is a good time to maybe clean it a little bit. We're going to give you the full thing, by the way. We're not going to, you can just use the restring quick thing but we're going to kind of do how you clean it and not just do the whole thing to. While you're restringing, it's a good time to tighten all the screws and do all that stuff.
Yeah, so little Phillips head. Let me clean up the fretboard. If it's really dirty, then you want to use something like steel wool.
4-0
steel wool. And it'll get the dirt off the wood, and that'll clean up the frets at the same time.
Yeah, you get that nasty, gunky old guitar.
Yeah.
That you got to have that. It's good.
This is a new guitar. It doesn't really need that. So
Yeah.
we're going to move on to just taking care of the fretboard with the F1 oil there.
Yeah, it looks like there's a new D'Addario version, which
There's a lemon oil
That's it.
also, which is
Yeah.
this is nice. But I'm just going to run a little bead up and down the board there.
now if I had Pledge at home, would I use that?
I wouldn't use the Pledge.
Okay, there we go.
I've never used it. I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay, fine.
And you don't want too much. You know, if it sits there all wet, you can just wipe the excess off.
And what that does, it treats the fretboard from drying out and cracking.
Yeah.
Makes it look brand new. It's like
Yeah.
just really nice looking. So you don't have to do it every time you restring, but once in a while it's kind of good to do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then, we'll just clean off the top of the guitar with the Music Nomad Guitar 1 polish we use every day here.
It's beautiful. We do a Gibson one too on the Gibsons. I think I don't know, maybe they're a little smoother. I don't know. Looks great.
Thank you.
You missed a spot.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
Right. Look at the headstock too at this time.
Nate learned all this in prison, by the way. There was a couple of rough years, and some people make license plates, some work in the library, or any of the other jobs I've seen on Escape from Alcatraz. So now what we're gonna do? We're gonna get the strings.
Putting the strings on.
Right.
This is pretty much our go-to at the store.
Right, and they're lights. Like D'Addario's
Light gauge.
great string. There's a lot of everyone's doing strings. There's long-lasting ones that D'Addario, Martin, Elixir started all that, dipping it in the Gore-Tex thing, last long, blah blah blah. But string gauge is the big thing. Most of the guitars we have in the shop, they have lights on them, 12 to 50,
Most
30,
of the time.
a lot of time. But there is mediums. Lights are kind of the norm in a way, and you
Lights
can
are
go
the norm.
lighter. Mediums, if you want louder, punchier. Bluegrass players, whatnot, you might be able to get lower action maybe with a medium because it's less flopping around. But
this is a dreadnought. I mean, you could put mediums on a dreadnought.
right, bigger guitars
bigger
generally.
guitar.
But lights are good. Are a good
Lights are good.
go-to. It's a good default.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
So I start with the
Pause
low E, and
Oh, real quick,
yeah.
D'Addario has a color code, like which string do I know is which? They have a color code, but really it's the low E. It's thick to thin.
Right.
I mean, just any string is thick to thin, but it's nice they got the color coding, whatever,
Yeah, if you got mixed
If you
up,
had a
you could
few
feel
and you're just like-
the thickness of you could feel the gauge, the difference just with your fingers. So
Yeah. So anyway,
these
sorry.
are color coded. So you just want to be careful that when you put this string in the bridge pin hole there, that the ball end of the string is really like a wheel. You want it to roll down in there. You don't want it sideways. You want it to roll down in there, and then you push it down with the pen, and then you pull it up past the end of the pen, up against the top of the guitar, so you can kind of feel it set there.
So now you are putting these suckers in. You're going to put all those in first before you attach one, right? I do that too.
Yeah, you can do one at a time if you want, but
Great minds think alike.
I'm doing it all day. I try to do it as fast as I can,
Yeah.
or as efficiently as possible. But if you want to just do one at a time, that's fine too.
Right. And it's thick to thin.
Yeah, there's more than one way to do it. So,
Yep.
okay, so
Okay. Do it.
I usually start with the high E. You start with the low E if you want to, and a lot of people always ask how many wraps to put on around the post.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yes. Go
So-
for it. We got to talk about this.
On the treble side, I like 3 or 4 wraps maybe. On the bass side,
As it's the wrapping around that post.
wrapping around the post. On the bass side, 2 or 3 I think is fine.
Cool.
And you can measure that however you want. I just do it real quick, pulling it over 4 fingers on the treble side. Just put my 4 fingers right at the top of the neck there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just hold it in place, pinch it down on the nut. And little tension on the string there. And that's going to give me enough wraps.
Yeah.
And I just go down with it. sometimes you can go up over the top the first time and then down. I just hold this down, and every wind winds down the post.
Right. I do it slightly differently.
You can do it differently if you want. If you want to
do one. I'm going to do one and do it my way.
You can do one your way. That's fine.
But no, that's the big thing that a lot of people, the biggest mistake is you put it right through and just start turning. It's never going to stay in tune. It's going to break easier. Yeah. It's bad. So yeah, you want those wraps around there. So you put it through and give yourself some slack. I learned from a different way, but it's very similar ideas.
Yeah, well, it's more than
but
one
I figure
way.
they're, I'll just throw it out there and you guys can all try it. So again, you pop it through that sucker. I like to pull it taut, and then I go, okay. I like what you did here, this thing, but I do a thing where I'm like, okay, I think of a paper clip or more.
Yeah.
And then I kink it here, so then I know where to start turning. So I go right here, and then I bring my arm over. It depends on which string you're doing, but you don't want to put too much tension on it now because it's going to flop out. So you got to do it when you have a little bit more wrapped around. And again, one quick thing too is you want them. See, right now you do want them wrapped all in the same direction, and then have this wrapped in that direction so it's symmetrical. But so I'm going to do it, and I'm going to now that I turned it a little bit, I can really put some tension on there. So I got this going. I'm putting tension, and I can guide the wraps one under each other. And sometimes when that's there, I'll get this out of the way, kick that up. It's a wire. You can bend it any way you want. So get that out of your way, and then just, boom, I got tension. I'm guiding it. And then as I'm doing it, this is the reason why you love the drill. So I gave quite a bit of wraps on that one. But that's fine. It's not too crazy. And as I get going tighter, I can put it right in there.
There you go.
And again, you kind of leave it like that. And I don't know if do you stretch them or anything?
I'll get to that.
Okay. Oh. I'll let him do that. Another thing, Nate, do you? Oh, that's much better. Do you leave them all on and then cut them afterward, or do you?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I do too. Okay, so go ahead. So this one figured to show you a different way to do it.
Yeah, there is more than one way.
Yeah.
So again, on the treble side, I just measure 4 fingers. That gives me 3 or 4 wraps, which looks like that's what you did too, pretty much. Same thing.
Right. And you're going to have to re-angle when you're doing the winder. You got to re-angle yourself doing it.
Yeah.
Should we do one with the winder?
I'll do one with the winder, sure.
People at home, a lot of people are using the winder.
Yeah. So this is the winder. Just a little. It's like $3, right? There's we sell a nicer one with a cutter and a thing, but
an honest working person,
the only thing with this, you gotta be a little
salary
careful.
can afford that.
That's right. You just want to be careful not to scratch up the headstock with these. They're a little more. You got to be more accurate with them.
And just crank it. So you can see how kind of like these kind of tools, whether it's the drill bit or that, is totally helpful. And it makes it quicker and actually helps you kind of guide it. And
yeah, 1,000 times better than using your hand.
Yeah, I can't even do it with just my hand now. I find our time together like this very special. I really value it. I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, so.
Hello? Nate? No. Nate and I are enjoying our time together. We're valuing our time together. We're restringing a guitar. Okay, thanks. We'll call you back.
So, yeah, leave the strings on.
Right. You kind of leave them kind of on the loose side. We'll deal with the tuning later, which is now.
Yeah. So, I got the clip-on tuner here, and I tune it up to pitch. This is, I'm going to tune it a few more times, so I don't.
One quick note of. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I just want to get it close.
Right.
Right.
One quick note of, that I always tell people about tuning and all this. When you have your guitar ready to go and you already have strings on it, you You just have to do it a little bit to fine tune it. But when you're putting new strings on, you're going to be like, where am I? Am I too tight where I'm going to break the string? Am I going to be too loose? Am I just right? What is it? You know, when you have your mind the tension on your strings and be like, I got to do that when I put new strings on. I got to match that.
Right.
So what I always tell people, so if I'm doing E, it's either E that's perfect, E that's too tight where you break the string, or E that's real floppy. And it's obvious it's low and floppy, so when in doubt, go floppy, and then go back up, and it's the next one stop will be the perfect one.
Yeah. Right,
Bam!
Right.
There you go. So anyway.
So I tuned it up. You know, at this point, I pull on the strings, stretch them out like you were mentioning. Just, you know,
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be tuning a lot more often.
I was told on nylon string don't really do that, though.
I do.
I don't know. I don't know where I learned that. Takes a little bit to stretch once you put them on, so you might have to tune it a few times. The stretching he just did kind of helps in that process.
Yeah, and then tune it up a couple times, stretch the strings, tune it. I do put a little kink or a little bend in the string like you did on yours from the
Right, get
from
them
the
out of the
start.
way.
I do it
Easy
later.
to clip.
Yeah, and I cut them pretty close because I don't want to stab myself. Looks clean, you know.
Man, I remember poking my finger on those suckers.
Yeah.
Ouch! Yeah, so try to be careful on that, especially
But
the thin ones.
It's important to stretch them out and you know tune it up a couple times before you cut them.
Yeah.
In case you did something wrong, and string comes unwound and then you're out of luck.
And that's that.
Tune it up one more time. That's it. Done.
I hope that was helpful.
Yeah.
You know, now you can kind of do your own when you can't bring it in the shop. So it's a very good thing to learn how to restring your guitar. You'll have it for the rest of your life. It's very handy to know. Nate, I want to thank you.
Thank you, Blaise.
That's Nate. I'm Blaise. We're at Music Villa in Bozeman, Montana. If you need questions about any of this, give us a call. We have all these products for sale. Give us a ring. Check our website out. All our lovely content on our website. We got shows, we got reviews, we've got used gear that we put on every time we get it in. So check it out, and I hope you're all doing well out there. Thanks.